Hey y'all, welcome back to the Roads Less Traveled. Today we're going to be talking about these ultralight climbing sticks from Tree Styx. And I can't wait to get started. Alright y'all, I couldn't stand it any longer. I had to get my hands on some of these sticks. And I ain't going to lie, they have not disappointed. I am pretty impressed, as you will see throughout this video. Before we really get started, dive into taking a look at these sticks, let's go back in time to myself a few days ago when I got these things in and I did an unboxing. I literally just got home from work and Tree Styx came in today. I'm so stoked to open these things up, man. This box doesn't weigh anything. Let's get them open. There they are. I just wanted to move the camera over here. I wasn't sure if y'all could see them in there, but that's them. Alright, so here we go. The first pickup. These things weigh nothing, man. Nothing. They feel a lot sturdier than I think I was expecting. I don't know why. Oh, I see what's going on here. Can't quit smiling, guys. These things are sweet. It comes with this little clip and this little loop here, I guess, so you can just, put this on here and you can just slip it on your saddle. So that's a nice touch. Not something you would expect on many other sticks. Man, these things are sweet. There's your aider. First impressions are really good. I'm going to spend some time with these. I'm going to play with them a little bit, get them on some trees, see what I think, and then we'll come back and we'll continue this video. Alright y'all, let's talk about these sticks a little bit. First time I seen these, I believe they were at the one of the hunting shows, whether it was one of the mobile hunter expos or the ATA. It was just a YouTube video that I seen. You know, they didn't just blow me away. I don't know why, but the more I read, the more I seen about these sticks, the more that I just had to give them a shot. I've been wanting some carbon fiber sticks for a long time, but there's a few things about the carbon fiber sticks out there that I just wasn't a fan of, and these sticks really just seem like they fix those issues. When I first seen these sticks, I ain't gonna lie, these steps, they kind of reminded me of like bicycle handles, and in my mind I was thinking they were going to be some sort of like I don't know, soft kind of grabby rubber type, like on a bicycle handle or something, and I thought that was kind of silly. I should have known they were going to be a hard, you know, plastic polymer type material that is very rigid. I mean, it surprised me how rigid and strong this material is, and how much traction you get. You know, they're kind of the profile of the steps are kind of rounded if it wasn't for these teeth. So I was worried that if these teeth weren't rigid, that your boot would almost want to slip off, but that is not the case. These things are great. I mean, there's so much traction. I really appreciate the thought they put into these as well. I mean, I really like the way they come apart like that. Some of the other sticks out there, I don't like the way they stack. I ain't gonna lie, they're just too much fiddle factor for me. But these are very well thought out. I like how they stack in line. They don't stagger. They don't get longer as you stack them together. I like the fact they put enough thought into these sticks to include this little endless loop of Amsteel, and they sent this little hook here, which is super thought out. I mean, they even send the method for hanging these on your saddle or your harness or whatever. I really appreciate that. I mean, it's just an extra touch that you don't normally see from companies. I will say that if you run this hook on your saddle like I do, so that way it's not swinging around, banging around in the sticks and making noise, this endless loop could conceivably come undone and come off in the woods. So the way that I have, for now, I guess mitigated that, I put the stick with the endless loop on the bottom, and then I just wrap that loop up over the center stick's button, and then I'll sandwich it with the top stick, so that way it's captured in there and it can't come apart. Then whenever I get to the tree and I pull my top stick off, it goes on the tree immediately, and I can just grab that loop, hook it on my saddle, and start climbing. Another thing I really appreciate about these sticks is the thought that went into these aiders. It's just so smooth. I mean, I've struggled, I know everybody has, with storing aiders. You know, they get tangled up, they get wrapped up, they get in the way. You know, I mean, they're just sometimes they're just a pain. But this is just such a smooth system. I mean, you just grab it, pull it up, hook it, and then click it. You know, wrap this little rubber band up. I will say these little rubber band bungees, they feel like the office supply type rubber bands are just black. I'm a little bit concerned on how they're going to hold up long term. You know, when they're out in the elements, and you know, a lot of times that kind of rubber bands tend to break down materials and break over time. So these might be a consumable part that you have to replace every year or two. I don't know yet. I guess we'll find out. Another thing I guess I was concerned with these sticks is how well would they bite the tree, having these composite standoffs. You know, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been pleasantly surprised. I mean, you can see this stick here, it's set. It is sturdy. I don't think there's any concern about kick out on these sticks. Also, if you'll notice, this stick is set really well, and I don't see any flex in this post. What I mean by that is, there are some sticks out on the market that when you set them on the tree and you apply downward pressure, all that pressure is coming from this right here, right? So what you'll see is that that post will kind of flex. It'll kind of bend into the tree. It's particularly the case with some new sticks out, some new double sticks out on the market. I'm not going to name names, but that flexing is kind of a concern to me. I mean, maybe it's not an issue. I don't know. It's just not something that I would feel comfortable with. But these have absolutely no flex. They are very rigid. There is no play in these steps. So there are no concerns there as far as I'm concerned. Okay, y'all. So let's get over some of the specs of these sticks. First off, I just want to kind of measure the step distance, the aider, step length, and all that stuff. I'll post a screenshot of the advertised specs, but I just want to kind of compare what I'm actually seeing to those advertised specs. So first off, the step distance on these sticks is coming in at exactly 18 inches, which is what was advertised, I believe. And the aider, whenever you stretch it out to get to where it's going to be with your boot, it comes in at around 17 inches. I believe they're advertised at 18, so that's, you know, 1 inch short of what is advertised, but I mean, it's not a big deal. Who cares? So that brings up the question that everyone always asks with these stick reviews: how high can I get with 3 sticks? Okay, so what I've done is I've got this Google spreadsheet here, and I've just kind of penciled in some rough estimates for your gap distance. So first off, if you have your first stick 24 inches from the ground, which is a pretty standard step for me, then you have a 17-inch aider and an 18-inch stick, and then you basically replicate that 3 times. So you have ground to aider, aider, and stick. Then you have stick to aider, aider, and stick, and then you have stick to aider, aider, and stick. And at the top, I added 12 inches for your platform. Okay, so if you put your platform another 12 inches above your top stick, which again is pretty standard for what I do. Some of y'all may stretch some of this out further, some of you might go a little bit shorter, but this is just a quick way to visualize how high you can get with 3 sticks. So 3 sticks with those measures, you know, using 24 inches between ground or stick to bottom of aider, 17 inches for the aider, 18 inches for the stick, and 12 inches between your top of your platform. You're going to come in at 189 inches total. You divide that by 12 and you come up with 15.75 feet with 3 sticks, aiders, and a platform. That's about where I want to be. I know some of y'all want to be around 20 foot, and if you do, well then get you another stick and you're easily going to be around 20 foot. But for me, 15 foot is kind of that magic number. If I can get to 16, that's great. Sometimes I may be 14, I may be a little bit lower, you know, and I can stretch that out a little bit. You know, I can go a little bit over 24 inches between sticks if I need to. I can set my platform a little bit higher than 12 inches to get a little bit higher. But for me, 15 foot is kind of that magic number I'm shooting for. It's the ultimate, in my opinion, compromise of carrying an extra stick and being high enough to hunt adequately. Now some of y'all really want to get up above that 20 foot mark for areas you're hunting, and I understand that, and all you need is just buy a 4-pack instead of a 3-pack. The times that I've carried 4 sticks, typically I end up only using 3, so I've quit carrying the 4th stick. So another big key measurement on these sticks I want to check out is the step distance from tree to stick. Some of the other carbon fiber sticks out there, it's not a lot, and that's a lot of the reason why I haven't purchased them up to this point. This stick seemed to have a lot of step distance. You can see my hand there, and if you watch when I climb this tree, you can tell that I got plenty of room to be comfortable with my feet on these sticks, which is a big deal for me. So let's just put a tape measure to it. Let's just see from the center of the tree to the outside of the stick, we're at about 3 1/4, maybe 3 3/8. I say 3 3/8 inches off the tree, which is a pretty good standoff distance. And another thing to factor into that also is you've got a very wide step coming in at just over 9 inches, about, I don't know, I'd say 9 1/8 inches wide. So that's a lot of real estate for your feet. You know, if you kick your feet out to the side of the tree, then you have plenty of room, especially on a small tree like this. Now when you get on some bigger trees, that's a little bit more of an issue, but since these sticks have such a generous standoff distance, you're not going to have any problems. At least I'm not. Maybe some of y'all that have some massive feet may feel a little bit differently, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. Another thing that I really like about these sticks is the way that they have done their attachment method. I've been running the buckleless straps for quite a while now on some other sticks. I've really gone away from the buckles. I don't particularly care for daisy chains. I don't really care for the, you know, AM steel attachment method that has the Prusik knot. It's just too much. So they went with a a buckleless method with these AM steel ropes, and the way that they instruct you to tie these things it's really smooth in my opinion. It's very simple. There's not a lot to it. It doesn't use a lot of rope. Okay, so what that means is typically, you know, where you're running a buckleless method or some of these methods where you have to tie figure eights or whatever, you end up using quite a bit of your rope. You know, if you're using 6 inches of rope to tie your knot, well, that means you've got to stay in trees that are 6 inches smaller diameter than they could be. So this method only uses a very small amount of rope, which is very smart. And it's simple. I mean, watch how quick it is just to get this off. Just pop, come around, and pop. To tie it, it's the exact opposite. So you just kind of come up to the tree here, pull some slack out of it, come under the button, go under your rope on the right side, pull it tight, stay on the same side of the button, go back under the button, over the left side, under, and then just pull down tight and set the stick. Super quick, super painless, uses very little of that rope, and it seems to be super tight, and I haven't had that slip at all. Usually when I tie that rope, if you've got a bunch of tag in, I like to just kind of, you know, set it back down behind the standoff here. Some of you might want to just kind of, you know, wrap it up to keep it out of the way when you're coming back down, so it's not, you know, banging into your foot, hanging on anything. Something else, these sticks that I think is something that is a huge deal. They advertise these sticks at coming in under 1 pound, and we've heard that from other stick manufacturers. And then by the time you get them in, you know, you get your attachment method on it, they're over 1 pound. And that's not even including an aider, right? What this company has done, this is a sub 1 pound stick with your attachment method and with your aider. And I've tested that. I put it on my little scale, and all of these sticks that come in under 1 pound. They tend to be in the 15.8 ounce range on my scale. You know, that may vary a little bit, but the fact that they're true to what they say, and these sticks are under 1 pound, that is a huge deal. You want to know another huge deal for me? These sticks are made in the United States. There's not many sticks out there that can claim that and be true to that claim. There is one thing about these sticks that I will note that I'm probably going to change, and that's just the length of these AM steel ropes. I've got probably a 6 foot-ish wingspan, so I'm guessing they're around 6 foot. Heck, let's take a tape to it. Hang on. Well, looky there. 6 foot on the dot. Man, I guess my wingspan's pretty accurate. Anyways, 6 foot attachment method is a little bit short for me. You know, I'd probably be fine 70% of the time, but I do hunt some bigger trees. So this is something that, luckily, I already have some of this exact same diameter AM steel or Dyna whatever rope mod that I have for some other sticks I'm not using, and I believe they're 8 foot. So I'm going to replace this with that 8 foot AM steel rope mod, just because some of those trees that I hunt in some of these big river bottoms, man, they're big, and a lot of times you don't have an option but to climb in the trees that are available. So that is the one thing that I'm probably going to add or change about these sticks. Another thing, I keep coming up with things to add to this video, dadgummit. There's no metal to metal contact with these sticks. I know that's pretty obvious, but You know, they can make a little bit of noise, but they don't sound that metal ting 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 noise that a lot of people associate with spooking deer. And listen. It sounds more like a rattlebag, or, you know, banging together some of those synthetic rattling antlers. When you put these together, if you'll start with the bottom and just kind of go it on, then the top, they go together pretty well. And you can snap these loud. Now I understand that was loud, but it wasn't that metallic clang. But you can do it quietly. I may add a little bit of stealth strip on the inside of these up against the stick, just to kind of, you know, prevent that stick to stick bang. But they're not loud, so it's not really an issue in my opinion. These things, I think you just take them out of the box and hunt with them. So y'all, I know these sticks are very expensive, but when you consider the fact that they are made in the United States, they come with everything you need to be hunt ready, right? They come with the aiders. You're not having to go out there and purchase those separately. I don't think they're as bad as that initial sticker shock. You know, if you take a look at, you know, some of the other carbon fiber sticks on the market, and you look at the price of those, and then you go out and you price your aiders you're going to add to them, because everybody's going to add aiders to sticks nowadays. I mean, it just is what it is. So you price your aiders, and then you do a cost comparison. These aren't that much more expensive, okay, for a package that is so smooth. I mean, it is so well thought out. They have thought of everything, in my opinion, and it's just a great package. I don't think that they're that far off on the price, especially when you consider all of the factors. How long are these things going to stand up to the test of time? How well they're going to last? I don't know. But my initial impressions are they're very high quality sticks. They seem like they're made very well. You know, in the documentation they send you, they do warn about, you know, storing these sticks outside. You know, don't leave them in the woods for too long. Don't leave them in direct sunlight for too long. Don't store them in buildings that are going to be extremely hot for so long. They're supposed to be stored in a cool environment. Is that just them being precautious, or is that because they know that over time, if they're stored improperly, that these sticks are going to weaken, they're going to deteriorate, and, you know, they could be prone to failure? I don't know. But I take care of my stuff, and, you know, when I pack in, I pack out. I'm not going to leave these sticks in the woods. I'm going to store them somewhere where I don't have to worry about, you know, temperatures. They're not going to be in direct sunlight unless I'm hunting. So I'm not concerned about that, but I don't know. Only time's going to tell how well they're going to hold up. But for now, I sure am glad I picked these things up, because they're going to save me some ounces walking in this fall. You know, and it's not all about saving weight. I mean, if you can't afford these things, get what you can afford and go hunt. But when you're like me, who I live to hunt, you know, I hunt every opportunity I get, but I'm also work a full-time job. I'm a family man. I do this on the side. I have other things that go on. I mean, I help run a nonprofit. I have a lot of things that keep me busy. So the days that I get to go in the woods and hunt, I want to have the best gear possible to make things go as well as possible. You know, is it going to make me that much more successful? Probably not. You know, I mean, I could carry a 2-pound stick in the woods and do just as well, but these sticks make it a little bit easier. I can go a little bit further. You know, and to me, that means a lot. You know, it's going to help me better utilize my time that I have away from my family hunting. So guys, that's going to do it for this one. I really like these sticks, and if anybody's on the fence, I urge you to get your hands on some. You know, maybe go to one of these shows, pick some up. If you know somebody that's got some, check them out, because But if you do, just be warned, you're going to want to buy some. And if you're on the fence about buying them, I say go ahead and pull the trigger. You know, I mean, I sold some other gear that I wasn't using to get the funds to buy these sticks, and I do not regret it. I don't. I like them. Appreciate you for watching. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You know, leave me a comment. I really appreciate all of y'all that take the time to watch these videos. Hopefully I've helped somebody out along the way. You know, that's kind of the whole reason I do this. I hope all of y'all have a blessed day, and like always, remember to take the roads less traveled.